Right, so behind me here we've got, yes, wheels arse, but beyond wheels arse is the Audi S3, the latest project. I say the latest project, the most recent project on my channel, is it? It's not, it's actually not. We've had a couple more since the announcement of this car, but obviously we're doing this car to give away on Planet Dreams in the next few weeks. But before we can give it away, we need to get it right, okay? And if you can look close enough, which you probably can't because the camera's a bit too far away. Basically the top of the engine's off the car currently, and we have picked up on a few little issues with this car, which has delayed it slightly. But today's video is all about going over the issues that we've had, talking about the plan of action, and let Will explain what he's been doing with the S3. So, another Calvin special, Will, yeah? Look,
oh, look, here's what it is.
We're doing things on a budget, aren't we?
So, if you, yeah, but at the end of the day, you know, we're doing it for, you're doing it for your channel.
Yeah.
So what's the point in buying a car that's mint?
It's
everyone
boring, isn't it?
That's boring.
Exactly that.
They love it when you buy something like this.
It's problems.
Because then that's why I'm so grey, bald and overweight.
It's because
it's
of me.
all your fault.
It's me who's done it.
Not because I overeat.
It's nothing to do with food.
No.
But you know, a problematic car, it does go down well on social media. We know that, and this is a prime example of a problematic.
Do you know what?
It's all right.
I get cars like this in with people who just buy them or own them, so it's no different to that. It's
so
just
to
cars
you,
are cars.
This is quite an ordinary.
It's just everyday stuff, mate. So, okay. So when we did the first video, we talked about the suspension and the wheels and tyres and things like that. You got 4 new tyres on the car now. I don't know if you've shown that or you're going to show that.
Yeah, I can show that now on slide.
RRT, done the wheels, look amazing. Centre caps look amazing.
Big shout out to RRT again. RRT UK in Luton. They've done an incredible job. They look amazing.
The steering wheel's done. It's on. Control Customs.
That looks amazing as well. Control Customs.
One of your viewers sent you or me, can't remember how it happened, a display for the aircon display. That's fitted now. Done.
I noticed that. Let me just jump in there because the guy that sent this out, I've just been looking through my phone for the message that that he sent to say, Calvin, I've got the controls for your crap before.
I haven't done anything about whether it were, I mean, it's literally fitted in the car. I've done that, I've gone that far. I'm sure it will. It's not cracked and broken, so I'm sure it'll be fine.
It looks good. It's actually out of a facelift car as well because it's got like silver hand knobs rather than black. I think it is anyway.
Well, it seems to be fixed.
Whoever sent me that, please just get in the comments below because that is proper sound. Little things like that make these little projects make it just better for us, don't they?
In that box there is a glove box.
Oh,
in the box is
the glove box fell out, didn't it?
Yeah, so that's going to be fixed as well.
There it is, no glove box.
Done. And then obviously we've done the spacers as well.
It's sitting nice, isn't it, Will?
Yeah, so we've got a caliper to fit.
Okay.
For the handbrake. We've got a full set of springs from Racing Line. And we've got, because the Forge...
So hold on, Racing Line showing us some love again, yeah?
Yeah,
Racing Line, that's wicked.
So the Forge intake, there's nothing wrong with, well, the problem is it's just a bit old now. And there's various bits that were missing, but the filters are sort of damaged inside.
Okay.
So because of that, I mean, you can rebuy the filters again, but you can't buy that intake anymore.
Okay.
So we're going to remove it.
Was that is that quite a good one? Like, I've seen that on a few cars.
They're not a bad filter. You know, we just obviously for this car, because we can't get some of the bits, we're just going to replace the intake. So obviously you can then sell that to somebody who might have some other bits, and then they can make it a good filter.
Yeah, okay.
Cool. So we're going to replace it with the Racing Line one anyway. That's here.
Amazing.
That will go from the turbo down to. It wasn't even in the filter wasn't even in there. It was like hanging out. So in the video, I explained that it had a misfired cylinder 4.
Yeah. Cool.
And various
running rough, and it was
various different things it could be. Well, coil packs are old. Spark plugs are old. This is the plug from cylinder 4. This is cylinder 3. So as you can see, that one's been firing, albeit not very nice, but it's been firing. Okay. That one's wet.
Okay.
Because it's not been firing correctly. So what's happening there is, if we look down here, I explained that the camshafts corrode the lobes because it sits below the breather box here.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we can see on that. But under this part here, they get condensation in there basically.
Okay.
And what happens is this part here dries out last. But if you look at the cam lobe, you can see it's corroded and pitted.
A little bit of corrosion on that side, like you say.
If you put the camera down there,
okay,
you'll see the roller rocker. If you go right back and then aim it down that way, I don't know if you can see it, but the roller rocker is all pitted basically.
So that's quite a common issue, is it?
It's not common, but it does happen on cars with short journeys, things like that, because when you get sort of condensation or water in the not water, but condensation in the engine, it doesn't evaporate till around 60 degrees.
Okay.
Oil temp. So if you don't get up to that, it never starts to evaporate.
Oh, right. Okay.
So that's why if you do a short journey in a car, like it could end up like this. So underneath the high pressure pump, which we were going to check, because you see the fuel pipe now. See how bad it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Blimey. Wow.
You know you can see the strengthening inside. That's your fuel pump bucket or tap it or whatever you want to call it,
which is something you've mentioned a few times on the channel.
Yeah, I mean that's worn through, not completely, still all right inside. The cam, it has marked the cam, but the cam's going to be replaced because it's corroded anyway.
Corroded, okay.
So that's okay. Now we were going to check the pump as well.
Yeah.
Which is standard, so it doesn't look like it's modified. It's got a standard shaft in it as well.
Because you did mention if it was a stage 2 plus, it would have a modified pump.
It would, yeah. So
that's a stock pump, which is good for Planet Dreams, isn't it? Because
yeah, I mean, what we'll probably do, I'll check the pump and clean it. We'll take it apart and clean it anyway. We might put some internals in it. I'm not sure yet. We'll see.
Okay.
I think we'll probably not. As long as that pump's working okay, then we'll leave it. If it's not, then the pump will need to be replaced anyway.
Okay, so at that point you'd probably
put a set of internals in it. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's that, and then obviously the inside of the engine, it's for the mileage, it doesn't look too bad, but obviously the cam has corroded. The belt is going to have to be replaced anyway.
Really?
We're going to take this cradle off,
Blimey.
so it'll have a belt and a pump on it.
So
cam belt doesn't look like 10 years old, but it looks 3-4 years old potentially. So it's probably due anyway. So
it's a common thing. Even when I sell any car with the cam belt, always cam belt. When's the cam belt been done? So that's brilliant, even for the channel, for the viewers.
So while we've got the top off and we're doing it, it's just the mount off and just do the belt and pump.
That's amazing.
Because we're taking that off, we'll replace the chain and tensioner in there.
Yeah.
The tensioner does. You can't see. I've tried to look through. I've got my camera somewhere. I'll try and get you some still shots in a minute of the cam properly. I've got like a camera, so I'll put that in. But the tensioner's like a T, top and bottom, and it's got a spring in the middle, and it's also
that phone don't stop, does it?
No, for the victim. So the chain obviously goes from the exhaust cam to the inlet, and that's how it's run. So what happens there is the tensioner they wear, and the T-bits fall off. They jam in the chain and they can pull the belt off, or they can strip the belt off.
So that tensioner is something that you would.
Yeah, the tensioner and chain and the gasket. The gasket's about £8. I can't remember how much the tensioner and chain is. They're not a lot of money, so it's worth it. While we're there, you just put it on there.
So you want to do that.
So it'd just be those parts or everything. We'll pull the inlet off anyway.
Yeah.
Give it a carbon clean.
Nice.
But that I'm confident that's why it's misfiring.
Fair play. So
I've had probably half a dozen cars last year. Same thing. Fault finding. Been various different places. Even well-known tuners who had replaced everything and said, "Look, this is as far as we can go. It's going to need the engine inspecting." And I'd seen one on a Skoda, and we took it apart. This, that, tried everything. It was the first one I'd seen. It was a while ago now, and I ended up looking at the cam, thinking, I put a cam in it. Put a cam in it and a pair of lifters and a pair of rockers, and it fixed it.
And that was really, and that was
you wouldn't think
worn in the same way as this one is, because that little bit of wear, like to me, that don't look horrendous.
No, so what happens is
you can just about see it on the surface there, can't you?
When the surface isn't, if it holds the valve open at all,
yeah,
because corrosion is a raised surface,
is.
and if the roller rocker is raised as well, got high spots. If it's holding the valve open, it won't shut, so it won't fire properly. It'll misfire.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's kind of what happens.
That tiny little bit affects the engine running, which is.
And the problem is the hardening's gone from the cam, so even if you were to rub the corrosion off, it would temporarily fix it.
Yeah.
And you put a new roller rocker in there, it would temporarily fix it, but then it would just corrode again. So because corrosion on top of
Yeah,
the
it just comes
corrosion
back.
scratch the coating on the new roller rocker, and then it will just end up corroding.
Well, we kind of know that even with rusty arches.
Correct.
You can cover them
you
up,
know,
but they just it just comes back, doesn't it?
It just travels. So
Wow.
yeah. So we'll do all that, and we'll replace the vacuum pump O-ring and stuff, and then hopefully that's the end.
That's like the mechanical side of stuff. Then driving wise,
That's why it sounds a little bit
does.
funny as well, because that cylinder's, it's obviously, you know, that's not going to sound nice, that going around in there. But
Yeah.
the sump's coming off it. It's getting a new pickup pipe.
Fair play.
Because, you know, we'll just do all that.
Do your usual stuff.
Because a pickup pipe's like 44 quid plus VAT or something, and an O-ring's about 7 quid, and some sump sealers.
But they're all, yeah.
So you just do, because obviously what happens on these as well, when the pickup pipes get blocked with this sort of black corrosion, not corrosion, carbon, sorry, it stops the oil going to the top of the engine, and you end up with these cam journals on the end are the last ones to get the oil.
Okay.
And it's usually this one here, and you can see bits of aluminium sticking out normally, and that's when
Really?
the cam's picked up.
Ah, right.
It's had it then, the head's scrapped. Well, sometimes you can clean them, but it depends how.
But near on, yeah.
Yeah, so, but this all looks okay in that respect. So
Brilliant.
before it goes out, after we've done all this work, if somebody gets it, the pickup pipe blocks up, and then knacks the new cam and the engine, for the sake of pulling the sump off, we just pull it off, clean it. I'll clean all the head out, and we'll just make it nice.
So doing this sort of stuff on these types of engines is something that you commonly, like if I own one of these cars now and I wanted to get like all these common issues done, you could, you know, someone could bring their car to you. And
Yeah, we do it a lot.
regularly, I bet you
do
do.
it a lot,
Because they're like, even the way these
It can
sort of
be
cars
expensive to do, because you know, buying genuine parts and things like that, and the time's not huge, but to do it properly, but the car values are going up.
they're going up, aren't they?
So people are prepared to, like, I don't know, 2 years ago a Golf GTI was, you could pick one up for 1,500 quid,
Yeah,
grand.
of course,
Yeah,
yeah.
it wasn't very nice and it'd need this type of work. But those cars are now 4 or 5 grand.
Yeah.
You can't get a Mark 5 GTI really now, unless it's a real snotter.
Yeah.
You can't, well, you'd get it, wouldn't you? You'd find, I'm sure you'd find
I find all the bargains.
you know, and some of those still need this type of work.
And it's
But people are
prevention,
prepared-
isn't it? It prevents any.
Yeah,
like
because
say,
putting an
knock-on-
engine in ones, it's not cheap. For a Mark 5 GTI, a BWA engine's anything from 800 quid to 1,500 quid now for
an engine.
An engine worth doing anything with. And when you buy it, you got to put a belt on it before you put it in. You're going to do a rock of a gasket, check the cam. You're going to put a cam chain tensioner on it. You're going to put water pump, take the sump off, check. So you're going to do all the same stuff anyway.
So you may
as well do that to your car before you have to buy an engine and pay someone to fit it.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
No, you're
But if
right.
there's nothing wrong with your car, and it's, then fair enough. But it doesn't take long to get the rock cover off and have a quick look.
Nah.
And the
no.
fuel, every time we service one of these, we take the pump out and check the air follower.
Every time. Do you
Every
know,
time.
I'm so familiar with you doing that now.
Every
as well.
time.
You seem to do that all the
we
time.
have customers who specify on their job sheet, replace high pressure fuel pump bucket, irrespective of mileage they've done. Just replace it because they know it's new, and they know that because it's new, they've got that amount of time in the head. They haven't got to think, oh, hang on, when did I last do my... It's done.
Yeah.
And they can drive the car and not worry about it.
Just for peace of mind. Okay, so mechanically, like under the bonnet now, so you pretty much got everything covered
It's
there.
not good now, but it will be when it's done. It'll be fine.
Steering wheel's done, the heating controls are done.
Yeah,
glove
glove
box
box is going to
getting
go in this
done.
afternoon, yeah.
I mentioned like one of my biggest concerns was the way it sort of wobbled a bit.
Got
and-
springs
Of
for
course,
that.
you've got springs.
And we've got the handbrake falling off the drive is the caliper, and we'll probably just check the disc and pads, make sure they're not been overheated. If they are, they'll get replaced. Otherwise, they'll just get cleaned up with a new handbrake.
Amazing.
The front brakes looks okay, and then obviously it's having the springs on it all round. And then if it needs any other little bits, I think one of the drive shaft seals is leaking on the box. But when we're doing the springs, we'll just pull the shaft out. There's a flange that goes in the box. Pull the flange out, and it's just a seal in the box.
Bloody hell! So all these little common faults.
But while we're there, we'll just make sure they're all,
That's amazing, Will.
because you don't want, like, for the sake of a drive shaft seal and the cost of one of those, it's a single bolt in the centre of the flange. Because we're taking the springs out, you can get the shaft out fairly easy. Pull the cup out of the box, and then you just pull the seal out, and then we have a tool just to knock the seal in. It's not a
massive
It'd be
job.
stupid not to do it now.
Really?
Yeah.
So springs, like suspension's covered, brakes are good. The wobbly driving situation sorted. All the bits on the interior's done. Under the bonnet,
wheels, tyres.
the wheels, the tyres. Again, shout out to RRT. We've got brand new tyres as well.
Are you painting this or wrapping it?
And then paint wise, I mean, I do want to get it into a body shop because Sprint Blue is one of the main reasons why I bought it. I want to keep
Say
it.
if you wrap it, it'd be a bit daft.
It would be a shame to wrap it, but it does need a lot of bodywork. And
maybe you could wrap this the same colour as the Golf, then you could wrap that awful A5 the same colour as well.
yeah, do you know, could have matching. Yeah, that A5, that A5. Hopefully, by the time this video goes live, the A5 wrap that would have been pulled off.
Oh, is it you were
going to be doing something with it. I don't want to
Have I just ruined that? No.
Well,
no.
I won't give away the game, but
I've
yeah.
only seen a picture of it, so
Yeah, it's
Is it already wrapped or painted?
it was already wrapped.
Oh, okay, that's all right. You just take. What colour was it underneath?
Silver, which is a bit dead.
Yeah, it's dead colour.
We'll see.
I love silver cars, but yeah, I know what you're saying. It's they kind of just blend in, don't they?
Yeah, we don't want a silver car. It ain't exciting. It ain't exciting
it's
for the
not.
channel for content. So I will do something with it. But yeah, this car, because we've got the scabbing on the bonnet. I think it's on that side. It's got a bit of that. It's got a little bit of damage. I did just notice that. I don't know if that was there or I forgot about it. But it's a bit of. We don't want to have to replace or repaint.
See where it's rusty inside. Look.
Yeah, it's just little things that needs doing. No, that's a minor thing though.
Thing is, that dent will just. To be fair, the dent man will take that out. So.
Get the dent man on that.
Yeah, a bit there, isn't it?
I think it just needs a good machine polish. Maybe re-vinyl that. Get the bonnet done. Bless you, Will. Cool. And we're going to bring this along to the car event at the end of the month as well, aren't we?
Yeah.
That's the plan. So we're going to get this done. Might have had the bodywork done by then. I probably doubt it, but we're going to bring this along.
Yeah, you don't
for everyone
want
to see.
If a body shop can't guarantee it done in time, as it is.
We'll just take it as it is. Yeah,
Rather
definitely.
than it be all in primer and then not make it, that would be a shame.
That would be a bit silly, yeah. Cool. Thanks again, Will.
No worries.
Done.
Yeah, so the S3 has come on a long way, but obviously there's still quite a lot to do. We are giving away this car on the first Friday of July, so we are cutting it fine as ever. These projects, they take a lot of time, take a lot of work, and I do allow myself enough time as possible, but it's there's just so much involved with doing them. But if you've not entered for your chance to win this car yet, I'll put a link to Planet of Dreams in the description below. It's free to enter as long as you subscribe to my channel. But the idea is, it just gives us content all the time. I'm just constantly buying cars. We do projects on them, get VRS on board as well, doing what they do best, and it's just interesting, isn't it? And you don't get the chance to win it at the end, all right? So big shout out to all the companies mentioned in this video: Control Customs, Your Car Edge as well sent us a set of plates, RRT UK as well. They've supplied the Yokohama tyres and refurbed the wheels, and of course VRS in Northampton. I'll link them in the description below as well. All right, so like I said, the plan for this car is I want to get it done, ready to take to my car event at the end of this month. Again, I'm going to remind you, if you've not bought yourself a ticket for that event yet, providing there is still some available at the point this video goes live, I will put a link for it in the description below. Sunday the 26th of June at Findon in Northampton. All right, so thank you everyone for watching. Hope you liked the video. If you did like this video, do me a favour, hit the like button, hit subscribe if you're new, give me a follow on TikTok at Calvin's Car Diary, and I'll see you in the next video.